Okay, let me get speech chat set up here. How's everyone doing this afternoon, evening, morning, night, wherever you may be? I am doing pretty good. It is the Godfather of VR, the ageless one of the man, Lincoln Clay. We're back for some Project Motor Racing. And what a DLC we have today. We have the GT500 Evo DLC pack. This consists of 9 cars, 4 cars from the early 2000s and 5 cars, 5 current cars. And we have a track, I think it's called Tikania or something, but basically it's Okinawa, I think it's Okayama, I believe it is. But it is modeled after a real life track. They just gave it a different name, just like they did with Monza, how they call it Brianza. But it is modeled after a real life track. I did spend some time with it earlier, and it's a very fun track. It reminds me of the Zhuhai track that I played on Race Room, where it was a track I never heard of before, but it didn't take me long to learn the track. I had a lot of fun with it, and it didn't take long for me to start being aggressive with it once I learned the track. Really fun track. So before we get into some races, oh, well, I guess before I go any further, this DLC is I believe $10. 10, maybe 11 at the most, US dollars. I think it's very well worth it. Again, you get a total of 9 cars in one track, and both the GT500s and the 500 Evos, they are both really fun to drive. The difference is the GT500 Evos are significantly faster. I think this is huge because before Project Motor Racing, the only game that I knew of that had the GT500 class was GT7, and which is reasonable to assume, to not be surprised by that, because Polyphony Digital is.
At Graham Gomez said, "Yo, Lincoln, how's it going, bro?"
Hey, Graham Games, how's it going? I've seen your content quite a few times, my friend. I see you streaming VR, just like I do, holding up this MetaQuest Pro and this older Quest 2. I've got a bunch of headsets around here, but I'm doing pretty good, man. How about you? Matter of fact, let me give you one of those.
This train! Whoa!
So as I was saying, with GT7 was the only racing game that had the GT500, and they're caught in the middle. Their cars are from around the 2016 era. They've got 4 cars. They've got 2 Nissans GT. I think 2 Nissan. I think one's a Skyline and the other one's GTR. The Skyline is from 2008. And then they have the Ray Brig NSX and I think the Lexus RCF. So they've got 4 cars. And then here, as I said, we've got 5 of the GT500 Evos. And so as it stands right now, GT7 is still the only game where you could drive the GT500 cars in VR natively. Any other game that has these cars has them through mods. So that is huge. When the GT500 DLC was announced, I knew it was, I guess
Graham
it was.
Gomez said, "Yeah, bro, I love VR. Sadly, the only option I got on console is GT7. I really hope we get PSVR 2 on PMR."
It's not going to happen, I'm sorry to say. They originally said that they were going to add PSVR 2 support to Project Motor Racing, but then they walked it back and said they have no plans to do it. Honestly, think Sony told them not to do it. I honestly think Sony told all the other publishers of sim racing games not to add PSVR 2 support to the titles. And one of the things that supports my theory is that EA wanted to add PSVR 2 support to the F1 games, to F124, F124, and they made it publicly known that they plan to talk to Sony about adding VR support to F124, and the subject never came up again. So I'm assuming Sony told them no. I've shouted this from the mountaintop, unfortunately, that I think the reason why Sony won't allow any of these racing games to have VR support is because it would be a threat to the absurd microtransactions on GT7. I mean, some of the cars on GT7 cost as much as $200 in real money once you buy enough in-game currency to purchase it, because one of the cars in there costs 20 million credits in-game currency, and if you don't want to grind for it, it would cost you $200 in real money to buy $20 million worth of in-game credits. So, no, it's not. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. And that's really unfortunate, because when you stop and think about it, I think I've said this before. I think because of the VR users are the reasons why the microtransactions on GT7 is so crazy, because for some people like me, racing in VR is a dream come true. I'll never get to sit behind the wheel of a race car. And VR brings me the closest to that happening. So, and I think Sony and Polyphony Digital are aware of that, and they plan to take advantage of the VR users, because some people, you know, probably had a dream of wanting to drive a Bugatti, and PSVR 2 allows them to do that. You have any other games that have VR support, like this game, for instance. If this game had VR support on PS5, some people may come over here and never go back to GT7. That means Sony would only get 30% revenue generated on this game versus getting 100% of the revenue generated on GT7. So yeah, I just...
At Graham Gomez said, "Oh wow, I didn't know that. That's crazy."
Yeah. Yeah, I read articles about it. So, and I think I've even seen a couple of videos where they talked about how Sony, on the original PSVR, where how Sony told some publishers not to do it.
Said, "Well, I don't think it's impossible to happen."
It's wishful thinking, but I really don't think it's going to happen. I don't. I wish that I was wrong, because I'll tell you this much, and this is probably a rough thing to say. I have Project Motor Racing on PS5, and I'm going to buy the DLC on PS5 today. But if Project Motor Racing on PS5...
Gomez said, "Yeah, I heard the new F1 was gonna do VR, then everything went quiet."
Yeah, because I think Sony told them no. And it would probably be embarrassing for them to jump up and say, "Hey, we asked, they told us no." So it never came up again. And then Project Motor Racing, the developers, I guess in a Reddit post, answered a question and said yes, that PMR would get PSVR 2 support, and then they walked it back. So my thinking was, okay, maybe it'll happen at a later date. But then as soon as they released the statement saying we have no plans to release PSVR 2 on PS5, support, whatever, at that point, I figured Sony called them up and like, whoa, back up, Holmes, no PSVR 2 support. So, yeah, again, it's really unfortunate. So what I was about to say is that if Project Motor Racing on PS5 got PSVR 2 support, there's a pretty good chance I would uninstall GT7 on my PS5. That's how much I love this game. And starting tomorrow, like right now, I think we've got like 6 or 7 daily races. Starting tomorrow, there's going to be daily races in every single car class. That means, I think on this game, I think there's like 15 or 16 different car classes. So that means there's going to be 15, 16 different daily races every single day. So no matter what your car class is, there will be a daily race for you. And for me, on this game here, my favorite car classes are GTE, GT3, GT500, GT500 Evo, GT, I think Group C. Damn, it's a lot of them. Hypercars. I like about half. I think I like about half of the cars on this game as far as the car classes goes. Whereas on Le Mans Ultimate, I like the GTEs, the GT3s, and sometimes the hypercars, and that's it. You know, the P2s and P3s don't really do anything for me. Automobilista 2, same deal. The GTEs, the GT3s, the GTs. And then on GT7, there's Group 3, otherwise known as GT3s.
At Shaolin Monk 4206 said, "What up?"
Hey, Shaolin Monk.
Ain't no stopping this train. Whoa!
So on GT7, there's Group 3, which is GT3. Group 2, which is the GT500.
At Trev Ken said, "I wish there were more road cars like GT7. At Shaolin Monk 4206 said, "I just bought the pack on my lunch break, lol, can't wait to get home." At Oil Slick 13 said, "No. Keep road cars away."
Oil Slick, thank you.
Graham Gomez said, "These new GT500 cars look really cool, looking forward to trying them soon."
They do, and I guess all the sponsorship stickers on these cars are real. These are the real liveries from those cars back then. Let's see. Last thing before we get into some racing, the user reviews. I knew that the user reviews for this DLC would be mostly positive. But I've got to call out one YouTube channel in particular, and that is Overtake GG. To my surprise, Mikhail of Overtake GG, he was very, very positive about the GT500 DLC. I mean, naturally, there was the game still needs work, but that was it. After that, he didn't say any more negative. It was all positive. He loves the GT500 class, and he recognizes that GT7 is the only other game where you can get those cars. So he was very happy that PMR has these cars. He felt they were really fun to drive. He liked the track. He was having fun. So yeah, he was mostly positive. So I got to get a man his flowers. I mean, I thought he was going to come back and trash the game, but no, he was positive. So shout out to Overtake GG. Shout out to Mikhail. I actually took a picture with him at the Sim Gaming Expo last summer. And unfortunately it accidentally got deleted. Unlike other people who
at Graham Gomez said, "GR2 on GT7 are one of my favorite classes, can't wait to try these on PMR."
Oh, you're gonna love these, Graham. The Group 2 class on GT7, especially in VR, that the Raybrig NSX and the Lexus RCF are two of the most fun cars to drive across that entire game. Those cars are so fun to drive that it totally slipped my mind that those cars don't have ABS or traction control. Those cars are superior handling machines, at least on the game. I absolutely love them. And up until now, GT7 was the only game you could play those cars on. Now we have them here, and we have the current ones. You know, the current ones are like probably as far back as 2022, but these are the current cars, and they are an absolute joy to drive. So yeah, let's get out here, see what we can find. If there's anything else I can think of along the way, yeah, I'll talk about it, because I'm sure I'm not blabbing yet, because, you know, I've been praising this game to the mountaintop. Oh, you talk about having an absolute ball on Sebring with these GT500 Evos. I haven't seen too many people. Let me see. Kyalami, that's a GT3. Sebring, there we go. Now, right there, that GT3 at Kyalami, normally I would jump in on that, but no, today is GT500 day. If I can't find one, then I'll just, you know, if this doesn't take off here soon, then I'll just do a single player race so you guys can see for yourself. So yeah, I'll give them a couple of minutes to get going. If people don't fall in here within a couple of minutes, then I'll go ahead and do a single player race and then come back and check afterwards. But Boris, he streamed earlier, and I think EJR is still streaming right now, and I already knew they were going to have positive things to say about the GT500 DLC. Boris just absolutely loves it. He thinks they knocked it out the park with this DLC, and they did. And like EJ, I was gonna flip back and forth between Boris and EJ, because I had, you know, two windows open on my PC. But then when I saw Overtake GG streaming it, I was like, let me go in here. These dudes are going to trash it. Let me go in here, watch it for a couple of minutes, see what they're going to say. But he was surprisingly positive, and I pretty much ended up watching that stream. Now, unfortunately, I think his past impressions of PMR kind of created a little bit of a mob, even whether he wanted it to happen or not, because when I first went into his stream, there was still a lot of people in the chat being negative about this game. But as he kept, you know, praising the game for the, you know, for how they got this thing turned around, the sentiment within his chat started to change a little bit. They weren't being so negative.
At OilSlick13 said, you watch Kyrth get butthurt over the track names.
Yeah, which I think, I will admit that, okay, seeing Monza being called Brianza looks a little odd, but I understand it. I mean, they probably had some issues with the license. I don't know. It could have been a case where maybe they wanted too much money for a license. Maybe there was endorsements or something like that they couldn't get around within the game. Who knows? But I don't think it's from a lack of trying, because half of these tracks on this game do have their true names. But one thing I did notice about Kyrith, I did watch his video, and he went around a corner, and two of his tires got off track and went into the grass. So he was complaining about the curves and how if you go into the grass, it kind of tries to pull the car off the track and shit like that. And I'm like, and he's like, that doesn't happen in real life and shit like that. I'm like, really, dude? I actually like when you go into the grass that it pulls on the car, but when there's going to be an adverse reaction. If a car is going down the track, two of the tires are on the grass, two of the tires are still on the asphalt, the car is going to handle erratically. So I thought that was a bad take, even saying something about that. And and even if you do feel that the game will try to pull you off the track if you go into the grass, to me, I like that because that means you have to be more careful when you drive. You got to have controlled aggression with this game, because you're not gonna go into the grass and still carry momentum and jump back on the track at full speed. No, if you go off the track, you're gonna pay for it in this game. So, not seeing anything here, unfortunately. So let's oh, there's a GT500 at we can do that one. We can jump in there. Ooh, look at that. What car do I have? What car do I have? Oh, the Honda. Okay. Now this Honda, I love the way this car handles. The big problem is that this is taking some getting used to. Driving on the right hand side, if I was in VR, this wouldn't bother me one single bit, but this takes a little bit of getting used to. Let me see here. Go to my vehicle setup, steering wheel 1.6, 1.7. Yep, everything's set up. Let's go. Let's get leg gloves on. And while I'm at it, if you would be so kind to hit that thumbs up, I would appreciate it. Let's go. Let's go. So yeah, these cars actually handle pretty good. It's just not as fast as the Evos.
At Rusty Nail 200 said, PMR is way better than GT7.
Okay.
At Slick 13 said, do you not reload your setup because of that setup bug?
Uh-oh. As far as the setups goes, I haven't really downloaded any setups lately. I just jump in and drive. I'm gonna let him go. And I'm gonna let him go. Oh, dude went through all that trouble to get past me and then slow down. Dude plowed right into the back of me. Seriously? Damn, and he plowed right into that dude. So he's obviously somebody that don't know how to drive because he hit me and he hit the car right in front of him.
At Oil Slick 13 said, even your force feedback does not load correctly, though currently, it is a known bug. I believe you were supposed to reload your setup to make the force feedback apply correctly.
Okay. I mean, and then as far as like the force feedback, I usually do that from the wheelbase itself. Now, the only thing I really do with like the steering, I did mess around with the steering sensitivity a little bit to get it to where I want it. But yeah, I don't dive too deep into some of the settings in this game. I might have to go in and turn the force feedback down just a hair, because it is a little bit stronger than I want it right now. Ooh, 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 ooh. Let me go back to the pits and vehicle setup. So one thing this game is doing is the cloud save. So everything that everything that I got set up like this on my Logitech wheelbase is carrying over to this PC. So there's obviously cloud save. So actually strength, let's take it down a couple of like 3 clicks, 4 clicks. And then let's get back out there. Turn on the headlights. I gotta have my headlights on. The big thing that's throwing me off about driving this car is this arm to the right of me, because it does block a little bit of the vision. And that's why I was saying that if I was in VR, that wouldn't be a big deal because I could look around that. Woo! Definitely got to be gentle with the pedal. This is fun. This is so fun to drive. I can't wait until it gets VR support. Almost paid the price.
flag this lap. End of session.
Ah! All right, let's park it. Going back to the pits, I messed up. So currently, where am I at? 8th. The lap time was dog shit compared to the leaders. But I'll get better as I learn this track more. So I don't know. Do I need more lighting or not? It actually feels kind of dark in here. So, guess give me a second, folks. Let me turn on some lights. It's a little bit better. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go, Voltron Force. Actually, I might end up having to turn that light back off because it's reflecting right off the TV. It's a distraction. So yeah, after this race, I'll probably have to turn that off. Turn that light off.
Focus on the light.
Let me move that mouse out the way. Oh! I let him through. It was either that or I'm going to get taken out. Knew that was going to, that's what happens to over-aggressive people. There's a difference between being aggressive and being able to control that aggression. That's why when I see people who look like they're about to dive bomb, I let them go. Because if they can drive like that and they can control it, chances are they're going to be faster than me anyway. But if they can't control it, it's just a matter of time before they wreck. And here he comes again. And here he comes again. So if he can't control that aggression, he's just going to lose it again. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it.
Renault Rodriguez. Thanks for following.
Thanks for the follow, Mr. Rodriguez. Yeah, he is being aggressive, and I mean aggressive. Car sounds pretty good too.
Okay, mate. Need to take the car in front. One more chance.
At Bricktop 2090 said, Someone was streaming this in VR.
What? What? I demand to know who that is. You sure?
At Gaming Legends 007 said, my copy of the game just got delivered by Amazon. It was less than half price on the physical copy.
Oh, cool.
Good drive, mate. You're in the points.
Now, about that streaming this in VR. Now, technically, I could stream this in VR. I could put on this headset and stream it in VR, but you guys would see exactly what you're seeing right here. So my question, what I'm wondering is, did they stream it in VR, but were they using theater mode, where it looks like a giant theater screen inside the headset, but they're not actually in VR? If that is about the best way I can describe it.
At Bricktop 2090 said, I will try look up in my history.
Yeah, definitely let me know who that is, because I need to see that so I can tell you whether they were actually in VR or were they streaming it in theater mode. Oh, Monza. Okay. Okay, now we talking. Oh, this is going to be a fun race. After driving that NSX, which I use both the NFXs on the GT500s and the 500 Evos. That Acura was just as fun to drive. That NSX was just as fun to drive as the 500 Evo version. Now, I tried a couple of times, like with as far as VR goes. Now, with Le Mans Ultimate, about a couple of days after the game came out, I found out that there was a hidden VR, and I found out how to get to it. In your launch options, all you had to do was type in plus VR, and then it would launch the game in VR. So I was one of the very few people that was streaming Le Mans Ultimate in VR when it was still hidden off from the rest of the public. 397 Studios knew that some people were doing it, and they said, hey, keep doing it because we want your feedback. So that was really good to hear. I was hoping that the same thing would happen with Project Motor Racing, that maybe there was a Harry
Desi said, I believe I saw that stream to look VR to me.
So somebody please tell me who that was so I can go back and see that video so I can see for myself. Oh, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. Let's go. And even though these cars don't have ABS, they stop pretty good.
over. Checking flag this lap.
Almost lost it getting on the throttle. I didn't get on the throttle too early. I got on it too hard. Let me through. Let me through.
P3, we're on the second row. We can win from there.
If that guy doesn't clip me, I take second. I qualify second.
At Jackwitten362 said, "How are you liking the new updates and car pack for PMR, other than getting blocked right there?"
I've always liked this game right from the start. And when the game launched day one, my thoughts was I like this game. I see the potential. Where it's at now is I love it. I think I'm gonna get clipped. Yep. Oh my God. Yep, they didn't disappoint. I got hit from behind. But there's gotta. I'll give you my reasoning for all me getting hit in the back after this race. I think actually I could take a positive from getting hit.
At Crank11 said, "Hey bud, just got here and I changed my name from T-Hammer to Crank. I'm not showing the ad unavailable to something?"
Oh wow. Glad you jumped in. No, I wasn't aware you changed your name.
At Crank 11 said, I meant, am I missing something to get it?
I'm gonna have to come back to that in a second because I got that threw me off a little bit. Sorry. So yeah, I'll come back to it after the race.
You just pumped in the fastest lap.
I let off. I could have kept going. I would have stayed in bounce. So I lost that momentum by lifting way too much. You've got to keep the time back. Slow down and move off the racing line. I don't want to give it back. I'll just take the hit.
on the chip.
At Adrenaluke YT. Said. Lincoln waving hand.
Adrenaluke, how's it going? Let's save that replay. I tried my damnedest. I couldn't get him though. I gave it everything I had. Good race. Good race. Elias Z. Elias, yeah.
At Adrenaluke YT. Said. I bought PMR.
You mean you didn't? You mean you've been watching these streams all this time and you haven't had the game? What's the matter with you?
Ain't no stopping this train. Whoa!
And good to hear you picked it up. Good to hear. So let me see. Let's go back to say, hey, bud, I just got here and I changed my name from T Hammer to Crank. Not showing the add-on on available to something. I meant him. Oh, the game is like you should. It's there. If you pay for it, you should already get it. You know, I haven't bought it on console yet, so I don't know whether you got it on console or on PC.
YT said, LOL.
Yeah, right. So if you bought the game on PC and you can't unlock the DLC yet, I don't. Only thing I could tell you is maybe, you know, either close the game and restart it. If that doesn't work, then go back and verify the files because there could be some files missing to unlock it. But if you bought it on console and you can't unlock it yet, I have no answers. I do not know. Okay, so whoever the host was, he left. Let's
At Crank11 said, I have it.
Okay, you got the DLC? Okay, cool. GT500 Takamiya. GT500 at Brianza, that's the one I just left. GT500 at Northampton, otherwise known as
Bailey.
Silverstone.
Thanks for following.
Thanks for the follow.
Ain't no stopping this train. Whoa!
This is the international track. Do we do this one? Because I want the full version. But these GT Evos, okay, he just changed it. Oh, and it must have just started before I had a chance to jump in there. GT500 at Brianza. That's the one I just left. Let's refresh. GT500 Takamiya.
At Gradentrum 523 said, PMR has tracks but no license to them. Are you okay with that?
Yeah. Automobilista too did the same thing. There are tracks on Automobile Lister too that is not their real name. I'd imagine something happened where they probably couldn't get the license or whatever the case may be. No, I mean,
At Gaming Legends 007 said, "What's the advantage of getting hit in the butt?" Lincoln smiling face with sunglasses.
Oh, what's the advantage of getting hit? Oh, I forgot. Hey, thanks for the reminder. I think the advantage of getting hit is not an advantage. I think that's a positive sign. I think more and more people are starting to give Project Motor Racing a shot. I think more and more people are starting to buy this game, and I think that was the proof by me getting hit by somebody who may not be very experienced at sim racing or somebody that's still trying to get
At
used to
Graham
Project
Gomez
Motor Racing.
said, "Yo, Luke."
So yeah, more and more people, I believe more and more people are giving Project Motor Racing a shot. You know, this is how I feel about Project Motor Racing. You heard of the term death by 1,000 cuts, right? I think Project Motor Racing is going to be life by 1,000 Band-Aids. All us smaller content creators, I think, have contributed to the growth of Project Motor Racing, especially my friends Jester, Boris, EJR, Xbox One Kenobi. These guys do community races faithfully. And so, yes, as a collective, we will get this game to where it should be. The devs, I believe, have worked their asses off to get this game to where it's at right now. I mean, some people have given Project Motor Racing a backhanded compliment by saying where it's at now is where it should have been day one, which tells me that if it would have been like this day one, they would have felt it was a good game. So they're still, they're still, what's the word I'm looking for? Trying to, put bandages on the wounds from the launch. But yeah, life by 1,000 Band-Aids. This game is going to grow, and I think it's already starting to take shape and find its audience. So that was the positive from me getting hit. And I think the proof is in these community lobbies. Even if you only see 1, 10, 15 people in these community lobbies, we're definitely seeing more people in these community lobbies than we saw about a month ago. Oops. So, damn, I would love to do the GT500 at Daytona. Let's go back and see what's in the ranked. Honestly, today, I don't think there's going to be all that many people in the rank races because I think everybody's trying out the new DLC in community lobbies or in single player races. Effective tomorrow, as I said.
At Crank11 said, "They should have had triple screen support by at least patch 3 in my opinion."
They originally planned to have triple screen and VR support at launch, but they had to push it back because of the state that this game was in. They had a lot of stuff they had to fix. And I love VR. Hey, here we go again, show you my headsets, a couple of them. My Quest 2, my Quest Pro. I've got PSVR 2. I've got about 8 headsets. I would love nothing more than this game to have VR support right now. But what's more important than the VR is online stability. And I think we're about 90% there. I'm not seeing the rubber banding like I saw in the beginning. I'm not seeing the crashes. But I didn't have all that many crashes when this game first came out. I wasn't having all that many online issues. The biggest issue that I was having online was that this wheelbase right here was skipping gears. I'm in second gear. I go to upshift to third and it jumps all the way to fifth. That wasn't happening with my other wheelbase, my Logitech wheelbase, but it was happening with this wheelbase. So I thought at first that it was an isolated Fanatec situation, but in any case, both Fanatec and now PMR have put out the necessary updates. So now I'm not dealing with missed shifts anymore. So
Trident 523 said, "Is the double shifting fixed?"
Yes, it is. I have not.
S3 Morenos 3 said, "I just bought it, raising hands."
Ah, there you go.
Ain't no
Congratulations.
stopping this train. Whoa!
That's what I'm talking about. This game, people are warming up to this game. Just like I said, life by 1,000 band-aids. This game is going to, like I said, this game is going to find its audience. Will it have the user base of an iRacing? Probably not, but it's going to find its audience. I think the same way like maybe Automobilista found this audience. Surprisingly, there are a lot of people on Automobilista too. Race Room, I think it has a really small dedicated base. But more than anything, I think people are jumping in and jumping out. They see a race they like, they jump in and then get back to whatever they normally race on. I'm probably guilty of that myself.
At Trident 523 said, "Project No Man's Racing."
Yeah. All right. All right, we'll go with that one. No, I don't want to. No, I want to get back to. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, where
At
the
Crank 11 said, "I never had a shifting issues because I barely play it because the FOV on triple screens face with tears of joy."
Damn, I am so tempted. After this stream is over, I'm going to try again and see if there's a hidden VR. And if there's a hidden VR, even if there is a hidden VR that I can access, I'm not going to disrespect the devs. I will try to reach someone within the Discord and ask them if it's okay to stream it. This is going to be a good race. GT500 Evo. The lap times with these cars. My fastest lap time with the GT3s on here was like a 2:17.9. With these GT500 Evos, my fastest lap was like a 2:05.6. But the aliens were turning in 2:03s on here. Oh, shit. We're up to 17 people. All right. All right. All right. But yeah, both these, the 500 and the 500 Evos, both of these cars are so fun to drive. Yeah, once it gets the VR support, this game is going to be my #1 game across the board. At first, I was a little bit careful about making that statement because as things stand right now, this is my go-to game when I want to have fun, and Le Mans Ultimate is my go-to when I'm dead serious. But once it gets VR support, I can be a little more serious about my lap times because I'm faster in VR. VR there's more depth there. You see the corners as it's coming, and it doesn't just like boom, hit you out of nowhere, I can see the corners as in real time, so I'm prepared to approach the corner. So yeah, once it gets VR support, this will be my number one sim. I mean, it is, for the most part, it is. I just haven't made it 100% official yet, but for the most part, yeah, this is my number one sim.
At Adrenaluquite said, I don't think any racing games should get any more updates. I think everyone should stay miserable and have nothing. LOL JK 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 JK.
Are you serious?
At Adrenaluquite said, hey Graham.
Let's go. Let's go. These cars are fast and they handle good. Oh shit, the reflection from the sun on the windshield. It's a little bit distracting, but realistic. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Whitey said, yeah, GT500 is a dream.
It is.
Those cars are awesome.
Might have to go back in and check my force feedback because it's not snapping back the way I want it to. Okay. Now that the tires are warming up a little bit, I'm starting to get a little bit more resistance. Oh, I was asking for it.
Maximum push now. Give it everything you've got.
At Adrenaluquite said, roughly the same pace as 2016 to 2020 DTM cars. At Crank11 said, I hear the rear tires are too grippy and rumble strips are over-exaggerated. Can you verify?
Oh boy, that's a tough one because when this game first came out, people were complaining that the cars were undrivable, which some of them were. But now that they've did the tire model and they're, doing the new tire model across the board with all these cars, now they're complaining that the cars are too forgiving. Ooh. Okay, so let me go back into the pits. I mean, since this is a community lobby, I'm not going to worry too much about my lap times. Now, let's answer your question. These particular cars right here, the GT500s, the only other game that has GT500s natively would be GT7. These GT500s, I think they handle great. But in my opinion, the GT500s on GT7
said, can't please them all. At Adrenaluquite said, I don't think they're too forgiving. I
No.
just think the behavior in how the car is saved can be weird.
My take
If
on
that
the
makes sense.
it makes a lot of sense. My take on the handling is that I can be aggressive, but I'll still pay for it if I get too aggressive. I love it when the handling is to the point where I can be aggressive and I can start looking for areas to try to shave off more time off of my lap times. Whereas other games, because of the handling, I've been terrified at every single corner because I never know what's going to happen. I trust these cars enough to be aggressive.
Said, if we had a bigger selection of road cars, we'd be more able to see if it's too forgiving or not.
I don't want any road cars on here.
These.
I don't want any road cars. I want all race cars. This game is right up my alley. So I think the GT500s on GT7 are a little bit easier to drive.
At Graham Gomez said, since 2.0 the curbs do feel stronger, but if you adjust the EQ mid down a little you can tone them down. At Adrenaluquit said, Trev, I don't think this game focuses on road cars.
I don't want any road cars because if they're going to put road cars on this game might as well be GT7 all over again.
We're at the back for the race.
I think the identity of this game are the cars that we're driving, the GT500s, the older GT1 cars from the early 2000s. It's just the added bonus. Well, not.
Adrenaluquit said, yes, Graham is correct. Thumbs up.
So they had to put the GT3s and the hypercars in here because those are the most popular cars these days.
At Trevkin said, at Adrenaluquit, well, at least more road converted track cars like the MX-5.
Yeah, that's on here. Yeah, okay, something like that I can deal with. But I don't want to deal with the actual production car that came straight out the dealership. I don't want to race with any street cars. I mean, if I felt that strongly about it, I could take my piece of shit Acura RL and take it straight to the track.
Okay, mate, you can do this. Let's stay out of trouble in the first few corners. No heroics out there.
Back off, back off, back off. Let me through. I tried it. You showed me that you weren't going to back off. What are you going to do? All right, now he finally backed off. He should have did that on the Camel Streets.
At Crank11 said, us from the Lemons Ultimate community, you are hereby banned from racing it and you must uninstall the game immediately or we will melt you system. You have 2 minutes to comply, face with tears of joy.
Okay. It's a good one.
At AdrenaluquYT said, LOL.
It's rubber banding. That got me a little bit
At
worried.
AdrenaluquYT said, oh, that car is lagging.
Yeah. And I'm scared to try to overtake him because I don't know exactly where he's at.
At AdrenaluquYT said, I need to rearrange my HUD layout in PMRTBH.
Oh, that rubber banding, I just hit him.
At Gaming Legends 007 said, some brothers Johnston creeping in rubber band mad.
Yeah, pretty much. But he's the only one that's doing it, though. It's got me scared to attack because I don't know what's going on with him. Oh! What the hell was that?
At Trevken said, if you see someone lagging like that, you can assume they'll be ghosted, so can relax a bit.
Nah, he just came to life and smacked me off the track. And because he was rubber banding, I definitely can't accuse him
At
of doing that on
Trevken
purpose.
said, I spoke too soon. At Gaming Legends 007 said, race jitters.
He's still rubber banding.
At AdrenaluquYT said, Lincoln, did you try the new spa layout in Race Room?
Nope.
I think it's the only place you can see the new observation tower as of currently.
Yes, I did. I forgot. I'm sorry. I thought you was going to ask me about Le Mans Ultimate. Yes, I have taken a look at the new spa on Race Room, and I did see the new tower, and then I saw real-life pictures of that tower that's under construction. It's got a crane next to it. Oh, that was bad. Yo, fix your damn internet, dude.
YT said, good stuff. At Gaming Legends 007 said, maybe he's playing on dial-up.
It might be.
At Adrenaluke YT said, he brought a foldable sim rig to McDonald's.
I think he might have finally disconnected. He's gone.
At Adrenaluke YT said, I'm almost ranked general in Delta Force now. I've been grinding in that game.
Never played it.
Getting much better at it. At Gaming Legends 007 said, the elastic must have broke.
Yeah, it must have. He's finally gone. Got on the throttle too early a couple of times. Oh, shit. Ah!
At Adrenaluke YT said, it's basically a free-to-play shooter that's similar to Battlefield 6 in ways.
All right. Look at that, 202.4. That's the fastest lap I've seen so far. And as I said before, my fastest lap was like a 205.8, some shit.
At Adrenaluke said, I might hop on Race Room either today or tomorrow or both LOL.
Yeah, I'll definitely hop on Race Room at some point this week.
Yes, that's a point finish.
Might stream it.
Good job, mate.
Le Mans Ultimate, yeah, either tonight or tomorrow I'll have a look at that DLC, but I don't really feel like I'll be streaming it because, you know, the only thing that's going to happen is that I'll jump in that Genesis hypercar for about 5 minutes and then go right back to the GT3s. And out of all the racing games that I play that have GT3s, I feel the most confident with the GT3s on this game. I feel like I'm the most aggressive. And
At Crank 11 said, and I have a 744 as of today. Face with tears of joy.
I assume that's your rank and not your ping. All right, where's he going to take us next? I think we might have a new host, and he may not know that he's the host. So I'm going to wait a couple of minutes and see if he switches it to another track. To my knowledge, let me check.
At Crank 11 said, credit score, damn keyboard failure.
Credit
I need
score.
new AAA batteries rolling on the floor laughing.
Yeah, all right. That's I guess that's not bad. So Project Motor Racing is still on sale for 50% off. $30 on Steam until April 8th. So jump on it before it goes back to full price. I think there's 15 gaming legends with the super chat. But he didn't want to type anything. Thank you so much, Gamer Legends.
Ain't no stopping this train. Whoa!
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. So, yeah, I'm going to pick up this DLC on the PS5 version of Project Motor Racing. If I stream it, I'm going to have to stream it directly from the PS5 because I have found that running my PS5 through my capture card created a significant latency with the steering inputs. You know, I turn the wheel and I see it finally turn like a half a second later up on the TV screen. When I when I unplugged it from the capture card and plugged it back directly into the TV, the latency was greatly reduced. So if I stream it from my PS5, you know, I can still use the PS5 camera, whatnot. But you know, you won't see me, you know, I won't have the emotes with that and Voltron Force and all that good stuff. So yeah, let's go look for another room. I don't think this guy knows he's the host, because it seemed like he would have changed rooms by now. Or changed tracks, I'm sorry. I wanted to stay in there too. GT500 at Sebring. GT500 at Zolder. I would love to do that. We just came off a Takamia. Okay, GT500 at Daytona. Yeah, let's see what we got there. I'll give them a couple of minutes. And yeah, I'm still in the Honda. Latency is okay. User 50427. He is on a console. Oh, the Kenobi guy. I saw him earlier. I haven't tried these GT500s.
At Crank11 said, "What capture card are you using?" Just as you said that, I was about to ask you when you mentioned it, because I just bought one for $11 yesterday.
I've got the Elgato HD 60 Plus, I believe it is. And so as far as running my PS5 through the capture card, I can still do it and play GT7 in VR on PSVR 2, because there's still a direct connection between the PS5 and my in the VR headset. So there's no the capture card doesn't jump in between those. But as far as racing flat screen, yeah, my PS5 into the capture card, into the PC, into the TV. So yeah, that created a lot of latency. So mileage may vary. I can't say that will happen to you, but don't be surprised if you run your PS5 through a capture card and then you see latency. He changed it up and took us to San Marino. I'm cool with that, though. I like that track. So this is another track with these GT500 Evos. This is another track where I can be aggressive. It's going to take me a couple of laps, you know, to get used to it, but I still feel that I can be aggressive once I get dialed in. Ooh, excuse me. Damn, he jumped out there immediately. Immediately. All right, let's go.
At Gaming Legends 007 said, Shame you didn't have the PS5 camera for live streaming.
I do have the PS5 camera.
At Crank11 said, I'm strictly PC. I found a 4K Ultra HD on sale at Walmart for $11. Normally $25.
So if you're on PC, what do you need a capture card for?
Come on, let's take this pole. Maximum push now.
At Crank11 said, building my credit face with tears of joy. Really to also record video of my racing rig at the same time. At Crank11 said, I'm trying to be like you, grinning face with sweat.
Oh, you don't want to be like me. Ah, damn it, just validated the lap. I had the fastest first two sectors, though. I think I'm starting to cook the tires a little bit. Oh, he let me through. Thank you. Damn it, invalidated the lap again. Woo! Not good.
At Crank11 said, I am always reminded of Senna when seeing this track of all tracks.
Oh, yeah.
At Graham Gomez said, I gotta go bro, catch you again soon.
All right, Graham, I'll be on the lookout for your next stream. Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate it. All right, folks, that's Graham Games. He streams GT7 on PSVR 2. Go check him out.
End of session, mate. Check and flag this lap.
Ah, damn it. Trying to
At
get into the
Graham Gomez
133s.
said, hopefully we'll get to race some GT500 soon bro.
Oh, shit. If you bought this game and you plan to put some time into this game, we will definitely hook up at some point. Time we got 4 o'clock. All right. Been live for a couple hours. Damn, the time, I swear to God, time flies when I'm streaming Project Motor Racing. I'm dead serious.
but we're in a strong position for the race. Nice work.
At Graham Gomez said, "Bro, I've had this game from launch."
All right. So after this stream is over, honestly speaking, Grams, I've seen several of your streams, and I didn't sub to your channel because I couldn't decide whether or not I wanted to watch any kind of GT7 content. But because you stream in VR, that's what kept me watching. So I will definitely sub after this stream is over. So my apologies for watching several of your streams and not being a sub yet. I will definitely sub after this race. Thank you so much for dropping in. Because I've kind of had an off and on relationship with GT7. GT7 by far has the dirtiest drivers in sim racing. So there were times where I'm like, I'm uninstalling this game, I'll never play it again, blah blah blah, you know. So it is. I got to get out the gate better. Hopefully nobody rubber bands. I'm dead last. I just put myself in a bad spot. These guys in front of me might be slower, but they're going to be fast enough that they're going to be in the way, and I probably won't be able to get past them unless I can try to get up on them and force them into a mistake. Woo!
At Graham Gomez said, "NP bro, all good, been playing PMR2, I've been trying to get my guys into PMR for months." At Crank11 said, "I'll go sub though, I'm a PC racer."
Well, Graham says he's on PC, so give him a sub. I didn't want to hit him, so I had to back off. He's losing it. I'm going to have to flash him to move over. He can't keep it under control. All right.
Yeah, you gained an advantage there that you've been instructed to give the time back. Slow down now and let any cars pass.
Hurry up.
Hammer down now, mate.
And I had the first two sectors, so that just destroyed a good lap.
At Graham Gomez said, "I only play GT7 lobbies due to all the bad drivers in the daily races. In the lobbies you can kick out the trolls."
Ah! Yeah, see, But I love ranked races on any game. That's my preferred. I prefer to do ranked races, but GT7 is so awful. Because with ranked races, I want to go up against the best people in the world. On GT7, you're going up against the dirtiest people in the world.
At Graham Gomez said, yeah, me too, but it got so bad I switched to lobbies.
At this point with GT7, when I stream GT7, it's just a change of pace. But other than that, if something new comes up, I'll dive in there long enough to have a look at it, and that's pretty much it. All right, so I'm starting to find out that I got to brake a little bit sooner or brake a little bit harder. Woo, woo, woo. And I'm up here pushing it to the absolute edge. But that's what I want, though. I want to be so aggressive that I pay the price for getting too greedy. Yeah, I paid the price. I paid the price for getting greedy. Now, Le Mans Ultimate is predictable and unpredictable in the same breath. It's predictable in the sense that you can't lift with Le Mans Ultimate. This game here, Project Motor Racing, Automobile Lista 2, Race Room, those are three games where if you lift, the car rotates.
At Graham Gomez said, yeah, I only do lobbies with mostly people I know now, so the racing is fun and respectful. I've been trying to convince them to give PMR a go. At Adrenaluquity said, I'm going to steal Graham's pet cat.
All right.
At Graham Gomez said, no way, bro.
Gotcha. The three games that I just mentioned, those are games where if you lift, the car rotates. Le Mans Ultimate, you lift, the car does not rotate. It still slides off the track. In order to get rotation with Le Mans Ultimate, you have to modulate the brakes. You have to keep hitting it and hitting it and hitting it until you get the car pointed to where you want it, and then you go.
At Adrenaluquity said, LOL.
Whereas with this game, again, you lift, the car rotates. If you hit your brake marker like you're supposed to, and you lift, the car will rotate. And then at that point, the only thing you have to do is wait for the car to get lined up where you want it to, and then you can get on the throttle. You still have to feather it. You still have to finesse the throttle. You can't smash it or you'll still spin out. But it's the point that I have confidence in knowing that when I lift, the car is going to rotate. That is not the case with
said. Anyways, I definitely gotta go now. See ya soon, bro. GL with the rest of your races and stream TC everyone.
All right, I'll be on the lookout for you.
YT said. Yeah, LMU feels like constant understeer and then snap oversteer.
Yeah, you can't trust the cars.
I prefer Racerum's physics personally.
You can't trust the cars. I trust the cars here. Where's he at? San Marino? We just came off that track.
At Adrenaluke YT said. Bye, Graham.
So we've been on here a little over 2 hours. I think I'll give this a go. And then from there, probably it's already in progress. Sebring. Oh, yeah. I would love to. Let me go in there and hopefully they'll get some people coming in because these GT500 Evos on Sebring is so much fun. So I'll go in there. I'll give him a few minutes to see what happens. He's on PC as well. So while I'm at it, let me come to my stream.
At @just_Boris said. Come join us, race just finished.
Okay.
At @just_Boris said. Hand pink waving.
All right. Let me are you the host? I hope you're the host, Boris. Cause let me see here. Were you at Norris Life? So who's the host? Who's the host, Boris? Let me see if he's in here. No.
At @just_Boris said. Yes, I'm host.
Okay, your name hasn't shown up yet. What's your user number? It hasn't shown up yet.
At @just_Boris said.
Oh.
Almost out.
Okay, okay. All right, I'll be on the lookout. Also, we got my friend Boris in the house. Check him out as well. He streams Project Motor Racing and he uploads videos. I'm too lazy to do the video stuff. I did that way back in the days when I first came to YouTube. It would take me like 6 hours to make a 5-minute video. The editing part, I don't miss that.
At Crank11 said. 77-9311 face with tears of joy.
Yeah,
at
but
Adrenaluke YT said. Boris, you should try PMR. I hear you haven't played the game yet.
Yeah, yeah, of course. He's still not showing up yet.
At @just_Boris said. At Adrenaluke YT face green smiling.
Okay, there he is. It's not showing. There he is. Okay. Oh shit, he's at Daytona. Oh Nope, let me back out. That wasn't it. Here we go. So I'm sticking with my GT500 NSX. All right.
At Crank11 said 777-9311 I meant.
Yeah, I was
I
about
guess
to.
you have to be a certain age to get it.
I'm 58, so I definitely know what you meant. I was about to correct you. There was because I was about to tell you there was supposed to be 3 sevens and not 2. 777-9311. All right, cool. Go to Mount Panorama. I'm good with that. Let me ready up. See if I recognize any of these names in here. That Smoky Dopey, his name looks familiar. That's about it. Other than Boris, other than that, I really don't recognize these names because, honestly speaking, at the beginning when this game first came out, when it was damn near a ghost town.
At Crank11 said keyboard error.
Gotcha. When this game first came out and it was a ghost town, I saw a lot of the same faces in the community lobby. But now I think, that this game has grown enough that I'm seeing a lot of new faces in here I haven't seen before. So what's Boris driving? He's driving Super GT500. And all of these cars, the GT500 cars, all of them are slick looking cars. Even the Civic, even though it's a 4-door hatchback, it's still a pretty slick looking car. Nobody's using a hypercar. What does that tell you? I think that adds validity to my claim that this game's identity will be with the GT1s, GTEs, the older GT cars. Because, this game was going to be called GT, I think it was going to be called GT Revival. So, yeah, I think that's what they were aiming for it to be that type of game. But I think the last minute decision was made to put GT3s and hypercars in the game. And I think hence that, prompted a name change. Let's go. Let's get a few laps in. I'll let him go. Don't want no fight. Not during practice.
At Julian26001 said, these GT500S are one of the best cars in game RN.
Absolutely. Even before these cars came to Project Motor Racing, I still love these cars on GT7. This is allowing me to set the traction control.
Maximum attack now. Go for pole. Go for pole.
Same thing with the ABS. I turned them off, but it was allowing me to set them. Oh, smack that wall. Invalidated the lap.
Check and flag this lap.
Yeah, that lap was absolute trash. You know what? Oh, shit. All right, cool. Yeah. So yeah, to reiterate what you were saying about the GT500s, before this game got the GT500s, that was one of the car classes that I absolutely loved on GT7. Well, Boris is on the front row. It looks like I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm 5th. I'm on the 3rd row. So Boris is faster than me. Make no mistake about it. My hope is that he gets clogged up in traffic so I get a chance to catch up.
Let's get a good launch. Focus on those lights.
Damn it! What a complete idiot! That's what I was talking about. Over-aggressive dudes that don't know how to control that shit. If he does it again, I'm just gonna let Boris know so Boris can kick his ass out of here. So CCFC drivers, who that is.
At Crank11 said, "What if that was Boris, face with tears of joy?"
What did I tell you? The dude was over aggressive and he hit, just like I said. So, let me watch this dude. Cause yeah, I think I'm gonna. This is him right here. If he takes this guy out in front of him, yeah, I'm letting Boris know. Go ahead and boot this guy.
At Crank11 said, "That was crazy."
This is the guy right here who hit me. We're watching him right now, so I'm watching him to see if he takes anybody else out. If he does, I'm letting Boris know so Boris can get him out of here. So people talk about dirty driving in sim racing. Dirty drivers aren't the problem. Over aggressive drivers are the problem, because these are the guys that take too many chances. They brake too late. They end up locking up their wheels and plow right into people. So the guy, he hit me from the back and sent me into the wall. And then the guy ended up spinning out himself. That's why I was saying that, like, these super over aggressive dudes, I let them go through. Because if they're fast, they're going to pull away from me anyway, and I'm not going to catch them. But if they're aggressive and can't control that shit, they will eventually wreck. So the dude is wiggling all over the place. He might lose it again. So look at this shit right here. He's already lining himself up to take chances. Yeah, this is going to get interesting when they hit the end of this straight. Because if he doesn't get that slipstream that he's looking for, we probably going to see some wacky shit here. Oh, it looks like the dude letting him through. No?
At Crank 11 said, "You are correct."
He got through. All right, let's see what happens to the next person. Make no mistake about it, this dude is aggressive. Like, revenge drivers, I don't consider them dirty drivers. I consider them exactly what the title is, revenge drivers, which means somebody did something to them first and they're raging out and they're looking for the payback. So they didn't start out dirty. Something happened. Look at this. Look at this. Yep, there it is. He just pushed somebody into the wall. Yep, we got to have Boris get this guy out of here. To me, that's no way to win a race. I don't take pride in winning a race because I was pushing people off the track. I take pride in winning a race because I was the fastest person on that track, or I was the one that drove the smartest. So let me pull up Boris's stream so I can type in the chat and let him know about this guy.
At Crank 11 said, "He drives like he's the only driver on track."
So We got a minute and a half left. Boris is doing this. He's got this race set up by time. So I'm going to wait till the race is over, and then I'm going to send him that message so he can get this guy out of here.
At Gaming Legends 007 said, I think he played too many AI drivers, thinking he can do it in multiplayer.
All right, here we go. So he's probably getting ready to get his next victim. So he won't, let's see here. Yep, there he goes. He's making his move. He kept it clean on that one, but I still didn't like that. Wonder why he's stuck there, unless he ran out of fuel. All right, let's see what he's got this.
Easy lap time though, you done 47.9.
I just sent the message. Let's see what he's got to say.
Absolutely mental. What do I think of the new cars? Impressed with them. All the cars, whether it be GT500 or the GT500 Evo, yeah. Not so much, like in my review video, not so much the newer variants of the cars, because they're all very, close together, they're all very similar. But the older cars, there's a good variation. 47.5 in there, just complete together. That's crazy. I'm happy to break into the 49, so I'll take that. That's the best thing I've ever driven, run bar first. There you go. That's what I mean now. Really good fun. Really fun.
I just take it at some point Boris will see that comment and he'll take care of this guy. I gotta respond to a comment. What are we doing next? Okay, we're going back to Takamiya. All right. I gotta finish responding to a comment.
At Crank11 said, I'm gonna go, pizza awaits.
All right.
Have fun.
Appreciate you dropping in, Crank. I think I'm gonna do one more one more race, and then I'll probably hang it up here myself. All right. So, my good friend Gamertag VR, he did a live stream of the VR showcase that they did last week. And I made a comment that it was one of the better shows, and someone said that I'm not a VR gamer. All I do is stream GT7. So I had to educate the guy and let him know that I've been streaming in VR since 2017. I have over 2,000 streams and videos, with most of them being in VR. Before I even got super hard into the VR sim racing, I was streaming Beat Saber, Pavlov, Contractors, Alvo. I think I mentioned Firewall. NFL Pro Era, Thrill of the Fight, Creed, Rise to Glory, a couple of Resident Evil streams. I mean, on and on and on and on and on. More. I've streamed so many VR games. So I think in terms of VR, way back then when we were trying to make that push to get VR to the mainstream, I did my part. I streamed a ton of shit. I didn't find the success that my friend Gamertag did, because he's closing in on 100,000 subs. When I first met him, I had 200 subs and he had about 3,500. He offered me a spot on their podcast, which at the time was called the VR Link. So I was on that show for I don't know, about almost a year. And I had my own shows on top of that. You know, I had a show called Live from Wakanda, where I would talk about the latest gaming news, both VR and flat screen. And one time I streamed it as the Black Panther. I went into VR chat and got hold of a Black Panther avatar. So I streamed Live from Wakanda as the Black Panther. That was really, really fun. So for the guy to say that I'm not a VR gamer was laughable. So I had to respond to the guy and educate him on my history. So I guess I'll go ahead and sit this one out as far as quali goes. But let's see who's doing what. trying to find Boris. Oh, somebody's actually in there with a hypercar. Oh, this guy here, Lamberto Sama, he is fast. I've seen him. I've been in a number of races with him. He is fast. Boris is fast. Lamberto will give he'll give Boris a run for his money. Now, what I think ultimately is going to happen is I'm getting the impression that, well, he's probably not going to qualify since he's just sitting there. And I think Boris probably isn't going to qualify either. So I'm looking for his name. Smokey Dopey, he's been in here with us. Okay, here's Boris. Oh, he's driving the regular GT500. Oh, ooh. Yeah, his connection's going a little bit funky. No, we don't want to quit. So Boris is driving the GT500, and I'm in the. I think I'm still in the 500 Evo. So, the Evos are significantly faster than the GT500s. You know what? Let me see. Let me see what Lamberto's driving. He's in the Evo, and as expected, he's the fastest guy.
No time set. We're starting at the back of the grid. It's going to be a long race.
Oh, that CCFC driver's still in here. All right. Let's go Voltron Force. Gonna be interesting to see how the hypercars act in this race.
Keep focused. Let's get a good start. Take some of those cars off the line.
Oh, I got no force feedback. There it is. Ooh. Ooh. Damn it. I'm missing my brake markers. So who the hell was that? Another dive bomber. Go. You already went through all that trouble. I got pushed by 1 or 2 dive bombers.
Yes, that's a point finish. Good job, mate.
All right. Looks like Jester's going to be going live here at 6 p.m. Eastern time, so I definitely want to direct you to him. And I think that's probably going to do it for me. We've been live for about 3 hours. Look at that. A lot of lobbies. I would expect that the rank races are going to pick back up tomorrow, because I think right now everybody's having the honeymoon with the GT500 cars. And then tomorrow, once they start the rank races in every single car class, then I think you'll see some more people populate the rank races, because then no matter what your preferred car class is, you'll be able to get a rank race there. So thanks for watching, everybody. Really appreciate it. What do we got here? Today's Tuesday. I don't know. Maybe I'll stream Le Mans Ultimate this week and have a look at Barcelona, but yeah, we'll see. But make no mistake, I will definitely be back on Project Motor Racing sometime this week. As usual, folks, I thank you all for watching. Really appreciate it. We will see you on the next one. Until then, you all know the line. Wakanda forever. Long live the king, and deuces. Have a good one, everybody. We will see you soon.